Hey everybody, today we're going to do my long-term review for the Etnies Camber Crank flat pedal shoes. I chose to buy these shoes because my buddy MTB Trail Review has a couple pair of Etnies mountain bike shoes himself, and he loves them. So I wanted to try a pair out for myself. I've been riding these shoes for over a year and have over 1,000 miles of trail riding and downhilling on them. Let's see how they held up. So these shoes are very comfortable, but for me, not initially right out the box. When I first got them, the toe box was a little tight when I first put them on, but after wearing them around for a couple hours, the shoes worn a little bit, and from that point on, they have been extremely comfortable. The sole of the shoe is stiff, just like a mountain bike shoe should be, but it's not uncomfortably stiff. It does a really good job of putting the power down to the pedals. I mean, to be quite honest with you, they actually just feel like a pair of skate shoes with a stiffer sole and a heavier duty toe protection. Also, unlike some flat pedal shoes, like the Ride Concepts Livewire, these shoes fit true to size. The shoes don't look like they have much venting, but shockingly enough, my foot didn't overheat in warm weather conditions. Also, I found out that the shoes work really well in wet weather and cold weather conditions. I attribute it mostly to the water resistant lining. One area where I think that the Camber Crank excels in is durability. Over the last year, I've ridden the Etnies in rain, snow, dust, and mud, and the upper is in shockingly great condition, especially considering the abuse that I put them through. The upper is mostly made up of a polyurethane nubuck that is abrasion resistant, and it's actually so effective that there's hardly any visible scratches. It's actually kind of wild. Even so, none of the stitching has come undone, and the glue in the sole is almost perfect. You can really tell the Etnies did their homework, and they made an upper that's made to last. What we're doing here is just comparing the durability between a pair of 510 McCaskells and the Etnies. The 510s are my shoes from about 5 years ago that I used for about a year and a half, before I bought a pair of Ride Concepts, and then right after owning the Ride Concepts, I bought the Etnies. Now I know it's hard to make an apples to apples comparison. With this, I just want to show the difference in condition between the two after they both have similar miles and time worn. The first thing that you'll notice is that the upper of the 510s seem more worn than the Etnies. I think this is more to do with the suede that the 510 used versus the polyurethane nubuck that is on the Etnies. The next thing that you'll notice is the glue coming undone on the 510s, which you don't see in the Etnies. Now, I fully admit that these shoes are older, so that might be some of the reason on why they've broken down. But the glue was coming undone when I retired the shoes, and I've only worn them a handful of times over the years to do trail work. The last item we're checking out is comparing the soles. Both shoes are pretty worn out from having countless hours of metal pins digging into them. The 510s do have a couple areas where the sole wore completely through the rubber. I think the wear is fairly close, but the biggest difference is that the Etnies still have amazing grip on them, whereas the 510's grip got gradually worse as the sole wore out. Now, just to clarify something, I'm not doing this comparison to hate on the 510s. In fact, I love 510s, and actually have a pair of Freerider Pros waiting in my closet for the Etnies are retired. I just wanted to show how well the Etnies have held up compared to the top dog and flat pedal shoes. While all the little details of the Etnies are great, what really matters to most people when considering a flat pedal shoe is the grip. To many of us, this is the make or break of any flat pedal shoe. Just to get this out of the way, no, the Etnies is not as grippy as the 510 Stealth sole. The sole is made by Michelin and it uses its own grip tread pattern and provides fantastic grip. If I were to rate the grip of a 510 Stealth sole, we'll give it a 10 out of 10. Based on that, Etnies would be a 9 out of 10. While this may disappoint many people, I don't necessarily think this is a bad thing. Okay, hear me out. In the past, I've had problems going downhill in my 510s and my feet positioning was crap. But the shoes were so sticky that I wasn't able to reposition my foot during the descent. I just had to suck it up until I slowed down enough that I could lift my foot off the pedal and set it in a comfortable position. But I've never had this issue with the Etnies. There have been many times where my foot placement was wrong and I was able to make minor corrections and reposition my foot. Another great thing about the Michelin sole is the durability. These shoes have over 1,000 miles on them, and I use them with Shimano Saints or nuke-proof Neutron pedals, both which are fairly aggressive. And I think that the soles held up remarkably well. The shoes are still stiff, and the grip hasn't dropped off at all. The pricing on the Etnies is a little confusing, as it ranges anywhere from $102 to $133 depending on the colorway that you choose. Why there's such a huge variance? Honestly, I have no idea. The good part is, at the time of this recording, you can find them online for as cheap as $59. In conclusion, I highly recommend these shoes. For the price, I think they're a great buy. If you can pick them up on sale, it's a no-brainer. If you can get over the slightly inferior grip compared to the 510, I think you'll be happy with the durability, fit, and overall riding experience of these shoes. Thank you for watching this review. If you have any questions, or there's anything that you feel that I missed, or you have any ideas for videos you'd like to see from me, please comment below. Also, if you have any recommendations for any other great flat pedal shoes, please share in the comments. This is Bike Hombre. Peace.